What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to cover my Barrage Rogue that is actually a very fast and fun build and is able to tackle everything in the game currently. I have done tier 100 nightmare dungeons, all of the uber bosses, and uber Lilith. This build actually has really good single target damage that absolutely melts all bosses in the game with ease. If you're looking for a really strong archer build, then this is the one for you. It doesn't abuse any bugs or exploits, and it's also 100% viable for Eternal Realm characters. I will cover everything in today's guide, from the skills used to the Paragon Board. There will be timestamps down below, so if you want to jump ahead at any time, feel free to do so. There will be a bit of gameplay at the end of the video, if you want to check that out, along with the full Uber Lilith kill. I am coming up on 7k subs, guys, so if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and sub and leave me a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, let's jump right into it. For the skills used, starting at the top, we're going to use Puncture right here for our basic skill. Basically, this is going to regenerate energy and build up our combo points. Our bread and butter right here, Barrage, our main damage dealer. We got Shadow Step. This is going to break CC, makes us unstoppable, gets us out of tough situations. We have Dash. Basically, it comes with 2 charges, and we just use this as a mobility skill to get around quickly. Down here, we use Poison Trap. This increases our damage, knocks enemies down, does damage. It actually does quite a few things for us. And then last but not least, we're going to use Poison Imbuement. This adds a ton of damage to our build and makes it to where we just melt everything on screen. As for our specialization, we're going to go with combo points. Basically combo points builds up and makes our, main skill do a lot more damage. For the Vampiric Powers used on the build, up top we're going to use Undying for basically, regenerating life. We're going to use Ravenous. This gives us a ton of attack speed, which helps the build a lot. We're going to use Flowing Veins. We are a damage over time build, and this gives us a ton of damage over time. We're going to use Prey on the Weak. This, all of the enemies are always vulnerable. Gives us a 16% damage multiplier to vulnerable enemies. And then right here, we're going to go to a Curse Touch. Unlucky hit, we inflict the Vampiric Curse. And, when you have the Vampiric Curse up, it makes enemies vulnerable also, and it can spread. All right, into the gear and aspects, guys. Just so you know, right here we show 14k life. We do use Temerity Pants. We get a barrier from this, so we have like an effective health pool of like 25k overall, which is really nice for the defensive aspect of it. And then before we actually get into the gear and aspects, real quick, you can see right here I have 8,500 armor. You want to get that to around 10k. I was working on this amulet right here, as you can see. I just need to get the 3 ranks to my imbuement skills on there. I didn't have enough souls to finish it off, but when I put this on, you can see just by doing that, it jumps me up to 10k armor, and on there you see it has 28.5% total armor, so that's a nice boost. That's about what you want to do like tier 100 nightmare dungeons and have your armor capped off so you're not getting one-shotted. And then also, guys, you want to make sure put this back on, get all your resistances to 70. That's really important as well. All right, up top right here in the helmet, you want to try to get percent total armor, whatever resistances you need. Definitely want to get 4 ranks to Shadow Imbuement. And then for the aspect on there, you want to put the aspect of Might. You can see right there, basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 6 seconds, and that's always up. Into the armor right here, we want to get Disobedience as our aspect. You can see right down there, basically it boosts our armor by 66%, and that's pretty much always up also because we're attacking a lot. On your armor, you want to get total percent armor once again. If you need any resistances, get those. You can get damage reduction, maximum life is good, whatever good stats you can get on there. Into your gloves, you want to try to get, dexterity is more damage with this build, as you can see right here. Dexterity adds to damage. You definitely want to get critical strike chance, lucky hit chance, and 4 ranks to barrage. That's like really important for the build. We have a high lucky hit chance, and we definitely want to have that. We want to have crit chance for this build because of siphoning strikes in our skill tree, so it goes off more often. You'll see that in just a minute when we go into the skill tree. But right there I got dexterity. That's really good. The next best, or the actual very best thing you could have right there though, instead of that dexterity, is attack speed. Attack speed is really important. I just couldn't find good gloves with attack speed on them yet. And then right there we want the aspect of branching volley. You can see Barrage's arrows have a 25% chance to split into 2 arrows whenever they ricochet. We're just hitting more enemies, doing more damage. For the pants, we do use the unique Temerity Pants. This gives us a barrier, which is pretty much up at all times, and makes our effective health pool 25k, where I'm at right now. So, that's pretty awesome. We want to go with the Penitent Greaves. The main reason we go with these, you can see right there, you leave behind a trail of frost that chills enemies you deal 10% multiplicative more damage to chilled enemies. So overall, you're dealing 10% more damage to chilled enemies, and all the enemies that you're going against are chilled because of these. And then in the skill tree, we grow into Frigid Finesse, which gives us even more damage to multiplicative damage to chilled enemies as well. So these are really great for the build, and then they have good stats on them also. Down here now, I went with the bow. You want to go with the bow. It has really good attack speed. You want to try to get dexterity, all stats if you can. Damage over time is good. You definitely want to go with damage to crowd control. You want to have that for sure. So I would say the top 3 stats are, you know, dexterity, all stats, and damage to crowd control are really important. And then, like I said, damage over time or whatever good stats you can find in there. On your bow, the aspect you want to go with is the accelerating aspect. Critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed by up to 50%. Really nice. When it comes to the amulet, you want to get the aspect of corruption on there. You can see your imbuement skills effects have 60%, and that's multiplicative increased potency against vulnerable enemies. So that's huge damage boost. You want to definitely have 3 ranks to the imbuement skills, and then 3 ranks to deadly venom is really good. You can also get, you know, 3 ranks to the exploit passive right here, and you also want to try to get the maximum, the percent total armor, like right there on this one, 28.5. Like I said earlier, this is the amulet I was working on. If this amulet up here had that total armor, like in place of that attack speed, it'd be like perfect overall. That's what you want to look for. Into our first ring, you want to get the conceited aspect, deal 25% multiplicative increased damage while you have a barrier active. And because of our temerity pants, we always have a barrier up, so it synergizes really nicely. On your rings, you want to try to get critical strike chance and lucky hit chance for sure, and then damage to crowd controlled, and whatever good, you know, damage you can get on there after that. Damage to close would be really good. And yeah, this is an archer build, but we're up close, especially like in boss fights and stuff like that, so damage to close is really nice. Then right here for our second ring, we use the unique ring X Falls. You know, you kill Uber Duriel for a few times, you're probably going to have this drop. I've had a lot of them drop already. The main reason that we use this, you see right there on lucky hit, your damage over time effects have up to 50% chance to erupt, dealing almost 40k damage of the same type to nearby enemies. I mean, we just do huge damage pops because of this ring also. So just overall, this build is just doing a ton of damage. Down here now, you want to try to get daggers down here so that you get the implicit of damage to close. You can see the 30% right there. Same on the daggers. You want to try to get dexterity, all stats. Damage over time is good. The third best thing on here though is the damage to crowd control. You'll see in the skill tree why, but we want to try to get that everywhere that we can. And then, you know, like I said, damage over time is good. On your first one, the aspect you want to get is pestilent points. Every third cast of puncture is a poison imbued cast with 145% of normal potency. Basically, you know, this is giving us those pools because of bursting venoms right here all the time when we cast. And we're able to just keep resetting our poison imbuement over and over, just pumping out the damage. In the second one right here, you want to get, you know, the same stats like I just talked about. And then you want to put the aspect of bursting venoms. You can see right there, skills have up to a 15% chance, and that's on lucky hit to create a toxic pool. Basically, while you're standing in that toxic pool, you have unlimited poison imbuement casts, so you're just pumping out damage constantly. And that's how we're able to like single target damage down bosses really quick and buff elites and stuff like that. So overall, it's just really good. And then guys, for the jewels, you want to put in rubies in your gear for maximum life, amethyst into your weapons for damage over time, and then over here cap off whatever resistances you need to, and if your resistance is already capped, then throw skulls in for more armor. In the skill tree, we're going to start up top right here. We're going to grab puncture for our basic skill. You know, it just generates resource for us and then also builds up our combo points. Take that back to fundamental puncture. This helps to keep our uptime on vulnerable with like bosses and stuff if we didn't have it on them. We're going to come down here into our core skill. We're going to take Barrage. This is our main damage dealer. You're going to want to run this back to Enhanced Barrage and then back to Advanced Barrage right here. Now, with this build, guys, we're going to come over. We're going to get Sturdy for, you know, damage reduction from close. We also want to put 2 points right here into Siphoning Strikes. You can see on Lucky Hit, which I told you earlier, we focus on Lucky Hit. Critical strikes against close enemies have up to 85% chance to heal you for 2% of your maximum life. So this, along with our Vampiric Power, we're just constantly healing and then overhealing to get our barrier because of our temerity pants. So it's really nice to have. We want to get that. And that's why we want a bit of critical strike chance with this build. I mean, the only reason we actually focus anything on critical strike chance is because of this node right here. Into our agility skills, we want to go Shadow Step. This is our get out of jail free card, makes us unstoppable. And then we're going to take that back into Discipline Shadow Step. We're going to get 1 into dash. This is just, another mobility skill, gets us around quickly. Down here into our subterfuge, we're going to put 2 into exploit for a lot of damage. Or I'm sorry, 3 into exploit for a lot of damage. 3 into malice for even more damage. 1 into poison trap, back into enhanced poison trap. And poison trap's nice, it knocks enemies down, does damage itself, and then back into subverting, we get a 10% multiplier against enemies in our poison trap, so that, boosts our damage even more. Into our imbuements, we're going to take poison imbuement maxed out. Then we have ranks on our helmet and our amulet, getting it to level 12, you want to try to go for that. Run it back into enhanced poison imbuement and then back into mixed. And then you can see on lucky hit, poison imbue skills have up to a 30% chance to apply double the amount of poisoning damage over time. And then also, guys, we're going to come over here into deadly venoms, get 3 points into there, and then I have the 3 from my amulet. Then we're going to get debilitating toxins. Poison enemies deal 15% less damage, and that's overall, so it's, real defensive and nice. Because of our penitent greaves, we want to grab 3 to frigid finesse. You deal 15% multiplicative increased damage to chilled enemies, and the bonus is increased to 30% against frozen enemies. Down into our ultimate, we don't take any actual ultimate skills, but we are going to come up and get innervation, on lucky hit, 30% chance to gain energy, 3 to there. And we want to boost our lucky hit over here and then over here as well. And then, this is like popping our energy up so that we don't have to take any energy aspects. We're also going to come down and get 1 into adrenaline rush. And then we're going to put 3 points into haste. While at or above 50 maximum energy, gain 15% increased movement speed, and below you get attack speed. And then, guys, we're going to come down here, and for our key passive, we're going to take close quarters combat. You can see right there, we get attack speed, damaging a close enemy with marksman or cutthroat skills. Each of the 2 grant 10% each attack speed bonus, and when both of those are up, which is at all times, you deal increased damage equal to 40% multiplicative of your damage versus crowd control bonus overall. So, and you can see right there, my current bonus right now is 129%, and that's multiplicative. So that's why damage to crowd control is really important with this build, and we want to get it everywhere that we can. Alright, guys, we will go briefly over the Paragon board now. Just so you know, there will be a link to this build on Mobalytics in the description. Really awesome site if you want to go ahead and check it out that way. We're going to come up over here. We're going to grab Prime for damage and life. We're going to come up this way. In this socket, we're going to throw Efficacy. You can see right there, imbuement skill effects have 20% increased potency, and that's multiplicative. Nice boost. Then also it boosts these nodes over here. Really awesome. You're going to come down here, get resilience for resistance to all and maximum life. Up here, we're going to get skillful. We're going to take lawless right here for armor and dexterity. Get these nodes in this area for more damage. The next board that we're going to come into is the no witness board. We're going to come up here and get ruin, damage to healthy, and critical strike damage. Now the damage to healthy with this build is really good because we do poison damage, and most, poison damage on this I think goes for like 6 or 7 seconds, and it ticks each second, and they start off healthy, and that's when it counts the poison damage, so it just stays consistent through the whole poisoning effect. We're going to come up here, get knowledge for damage and intelligence. Right here we're going to put diminish. You can see right there, you take 10% reduced physical damage from vulnerable enemies, and all enemies are vulnerable. And then also it's boosting our other nodes in the area. We're going to come over here, get training, get these nodes next to it right here. The next board that we're going to come into, guys, is going to be the exploit weakness board. We're going to want to come into this board, guys. Actually, first, go ahead and come over here, grab Hunter Killer, damage to leech, movement speed. Come this way, grab exploit weakness. Whenever you deal damage to a vulnerable enemy, they take 1% multiplicative increased damage from you for 6 seconds, up to 15%, and that's really nice. It ramps up quick. We're going to come down here. We're going to throw a tracker in. We're just going to get enough intelligence to get the additional bonus. You see, poisoning damage effects last 33% longer, but that's like a third longer overall, and means that we're doing more damage. Next, we're going to want to come down here, guys, and the board that we're going to come into is going to be the Eldritch Bounty board. First, we're going to come over here, guys. We're going to grab Potent for imbued skill damage and dexterity. I'm right here, throw in Turf. You gain 10% damage reduction against close enemies for the additional bonus. That's really nice, and then it gives us, damage to close. We're going to come down here, grab Ready Supply, damage to our poison, and cooldown for imbuement skill. Over here to Eldritch Bounty. Now this adds 20% overall multiplicative to our poison damage, so we definitely want to go with this one. We're going to come over here. The next board that we will come into is going to be the Cheap Shot board. On this board, there's a bunch of damage versus crowd controlled, and like I had said in the skill tree, we want to try to boost that as much as possible. Come Come over here first, grab Oppress, damage to crowd controlled. Come down here, grab Cheap Shot. You deal 5% multiplicative increased damage for each nearby enemy that is crowd controlled up to 25%. So this impacts and stuff, so it just gives us a ton of damage. You're going to want to come over here and grab Safeguard, 13% damage reduction to elites with more damage reduction right here. And then also armor, which is nice. I'm going to come over here, grab Devious for more damage to crowd controlled. Grab all this in this area. Right here, we're going to put Control. This is the most important glyph. Also, guys, don't forget to level all your glyphs. Get this one to 21 when you go to 21. But at first, get all your glyphs to 15 at least, so you get the bigger radius. So throw Control right here. There's 44 intelligence in range. We're going to come down here, guys. We're going to grab Spearhead for damage to healthy and armor. Grab these. We're going to come over here, grab Calculated for more damage, crowd controlled enemies, and then armor. And then the final board that we're going to come into will be the Tricks of the Trade board. We're going to come up here. We're going to throw in Bane, poison damage, and then also you can see for the additional bonus, poisoning damage effects have a 10% chance to deal double the amount of damage over their duration. You know, even more of a chance to deal double damage. And then you're going to want to grab Lawless over here for a little bit of armor and dexterity. And then these nodes in this area just to meet the requirement. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the Paragon board. Like I said, if this guide's been helpful, if you like the build, don't forget to like, sub, you know, leave me a comment down below. I am coming to the 7K subs, and I appreciate all the support recently, guys. There will be some gameplay right now, like I said, if you want to check that out. Anyways, thanks for watching.
I'm not ready.